Picture a 9-year-old boy walking into his friend's house, not to ask for money, but to ask how to make it. His name is Robert. His best friend is Mike, and Mike's dad, a man who never finished high school but runs a small chain of stores, offers him a job. The task? Dusting shelves and stocking cans in a grocery store. The pay? 10 cents an hour. Robert works for a month, then walks in demanding a raise, and the answer he gets changes the entire course of his life. This is the story at the heart of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, where author Robert Kiyosaki tells the tale of his two fathers, one highly educated, one who never finished school, and what each of them taught him about money. By the end of this video, you'll understand the real difference between assets and liabilities, how the wealthy actually make their money work for them, and how you can start shifting your own financial future, no matter what your job looks like right now. Robert Kiyosaki grew up with two father figures. His biological father was highly educated, held a PhD, and worked as a senior government official. Kiyosaki calls him his poor dad. His best friend Mike's father dropped out of school, but built a successful business empire. Kiyosaki calls him his rich dad. Both men taught Robert about money, but their philosophies were complete opposites. This book distills 6 major lessons drawn from those two very different teachers. Let's go through them one by one. Lesson 1. The rich don't work for money. When young Robert asked his rich dad for a raise, instead of bumping his pay from 10 cents to 25, Rich Dad told him something shocking. From now on, I'll pay you nothing. Robert was baffled, but Rich Dad's point was this: if you only work for money, you'll spend your whole life chasing it. Fear and greed, he explained, are the emotional traps most people never escape. He deliberately kept Robert working for free so he'd be forced to notice opportunities instead of just collecting a paycheck. And that's exactly what happens. Robert notices the store throws away old comic books, so he starts collecting them and opens a tiny comic book library, charging neighborhood kids a small fee to read. That library becomes his very first real asset. The lesson is simple. Don't work for money. Work to learn, so that eventually money works for you. Ask yourself, is your current job just paying your bills, or is it actually teaching you something you can use later? Lesson 2. Why teach financial literacy? This might be the single most important concept in the entire book, understanding the real difference between assets and liabilities. Rich Dad's definition was refreshingly simple. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. Most people, including much of the middle class, think of their home as an asset. But if it comes with a mortgage, taxes, and upkeep costs, it's actually a liability. The poor spend everything on pure expenses. The middle class earns income and then buys liabilities they believe are assets. Bigger houses, newer cars, so their liabilities keep growing right alongside their income. The rich, meanwhile, funnel their money into real assets: stocks, rental properties, businesses, and those assets generate more income in return. Understanding this cash flow pattern is what Kiyosaki calls true financial literacy. Take a moment and think. Of everything you currently own, how much of it is actually putting money into your pocket, and how much is quietly taking it out? Lesson 3. Mind your own business. Kiyosaki draws a sharp line between your profession and your business. Most people get so consumed by their profession, their title, their salary, their career ladder, that they completely forget to build a business of their own. And by business, he doesn't mean starting a company. He means your asset column. You can be a bank manager by profession, but your real business should be your portfolio of real estate or stocks growing quietly in the background. Rich Dad's advice was straightforward. Keep your salary job, but funnel a portion of that income into buying assets every single month. Start small: mutual funds, a rental property, any side income stream, but stay consistent. Over time, that asset column grows large enough to outpace your salary entirely. That's the actual road to financial freedom. Here's something to sit with. Do you set aside a fixed portion of your income for assets every month, or does it all just disappear into expenses? Lesson 4. The history of taxes and the power of corporations. This lesson gets a bit technical, but it's genuinely powerful. Kiyosaki explains that taxes were originally designed to target only the wealthy, but over time, that burden quietly shifted onto the middle and lower classes, because the rich always find the legal loopholes first. Their biggest tool is the corporation. A regular employee earns money, pays taxes on it, and then spends whatever is left. But someone who owns a corporation earns money, spends through the corporation first, and only pays tax on whatever remains after that. This kind of legal financial knowledge, accounting, investing, understanding markets, and knowing the law, is what Rich Dad calls financial.
Poor Dad always said, "I'm not interested in numbers." Rich Dad believed numbers tell you everything about how a business is really doing. Do you actually track where your money goes, or do you just glance at your account balance and move on? Lesson 5. The rich invent money. This lesson is all about risk-taking and spotting opportunity before anyone else does. Kiyosaki believes the single biggest financial risk isn't losing money, it's never trying anything new. He shares the story of a real estate deal he found, negotiated, and closed with almost none of his own money down, using nothing but his financial knowledge and his network to structure the deal. The wealthy don't just look for jobs, they look for opportunities nobody else has noticed yet. That requires fast action and the courage to learn from your mistakes rather than freeze up. Rich Dad had a favorite line for this: "Winners are not afraid of losing. Losers are." Think back. The last time a risky opportunity showed up in front of you, did you take a shot at it, or did fear talk you out of it? Lesson 6. Work to learn, not to earn. The final major lesson is about how you choose your career, and it's not about the paycheck. Poor Dad believed in specializing, becoming an expert in one narrow field. Rich Dad believed in becoming a generalist, learning sales, marketing, accounting, negotiation, leadership, because running a business demands a working understanding of everything. Kiyosaki himself deliberately switched jobs multiple times purely to pick up new skills, even taking a sales position solely to master communication and persuasion. His advice: whenever you're weighing a job offer, ask yourself first, what will this actually teach me? Not just what will it pay me? Are you doing your current job because it's building real skills, or purely because of the paycheck? Later in the book, Kiyosaki lays out 5 major obstacles that keep people from ever becoming wealthy: fear, cynicism, laziness, bad habits, and arrogance. Fear of losing money is the most common one. It's why so many people never invest at all. Cynicism shows up as "that would never work for me" thinking. Laziness is subtle. Staying busy and being genuinely productive are not the same thing. Bad habits, like paying every bill before paying yourself, run directly against Rich Dad's core rule of paying yourself first. And arrogance, the "I already know everything" mindset, quietly blocks any new learning. Which of these 5 obstacles hits closest to home for you? Toward the end, Kiyosaki lays out 10 practical steps to actually get moving. Things like anchoring your motivation to a purpose stronger than money itself, learning something new every day, surrounding yourself with people who are already where you want to be, practicing with small deals first, and above all, taking real action. Because knowledge on its own changes nothing until you actually apply it. So let's recap quickly. The wealthy don't work for money. They build assets. An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes it out. Grow your own business, your asset column, instead of relying solely on your job. Corporations and financial IQ help you legally reduce what you owe in taxes. Take risks, hunt for opportunities, and choose jobs for what they teach you, not just what they pay. If there's one single takeaway from this entire book, it's this: real wealth doesn't come from earning money. It comes from building assets that earn money for you, whether you're awake or asleep.
If this video taught you something new, hit that like button and subscribe. We bring you deep, genuinely practical book breakdowns, just like this one, regularly. Here's a question.